in the past, 22 days, and I don't even work on Saturdays and Sundays. Well, my videos don't work on Saturdays and Sundays. So in the past, let's say 18 days, we've been able to book around 23 sales calls. And just to make sure, I put the event type to basically say 15-minute discovery and breakthrough strategy sessions. I have some other stuff, so I do like one-on-one training sometimes, but like these are just like the main sales calls events. So we've done around 23, which is not a lot, to be honest, but in this video I just want to show you that like I actually book appointments and I actually know what I'm talking about, essentially. And obviously I do a couple more so like it's quite consistent, but I just don't want to like leak people's like names and stuff like that. So yeah, besides the point, I just want to explain to you why you can't book any meetings. So if you're like watching all the YouTube videos, you're seeing people book the appointments, you're copying all the scripts, but for some reason it doesn't work for you, I'm going to explain to you why. So you might have been maybe even booking like crazy amounts of appointments before, but then you do like, let's say 30, 40 one month, and then next month you just kind of die. Like it just sucks, and then you can't book appointments and you're like, fuck, I can't get calls, I can't do this, I'm not going to make money, my mom's going to hate me, all that type of stuff. But in this video I'm going to walk you through why that might be the case for you and what you can do to fix it, essentially. So I made a really simple analogy with shepherds, so I'm just going to explain to you what this is. So let's say, imagine like you're like a shepherd, but let's say like this is like a Sigma shepherd. So like he's like really cool at what he does. He's super smart. He's a smart shepherd. So this could be like your industry leader, for example. So let's say your shepherd is basically leading sheep on his new average strategy. So he's like, hey guys, I have this new average strategy, but for this case is like the sheep is like, hey sheep, like I have grass, there's grass here, you guys can eat food so you don't die and stuff like that. And they're like, holy shit, this is insane. So they follow him, and obviously like when the sheep obviously eat food, they get bigger, and like he makes more money because he can sell them with like with wool or whatever. So like he makes money when the sheep get fat. So yeah, that's one thing. So he leads them to good bountiful green grass. And then there's another shepherd. So there's another shepherd that sees him. So this could be like another maybe business owner, and he's got his own shepherds, but like he sees this guy's sheep getting super fat, and he's like, fuck, this is crazy, bro. This guy's got insane amount of thickness on the sheep. So he's like, I need that. So they basically follow so he follows his shepherd with his sheep, and they go to his field and they try to eat his grass. And then what ends up happening, surprise, there's less grass for everyone to eat. So all these guys, they had their food, they got fat, but then these guys came in and then they took the rest of it. And then obviously these guys, they were still fat, but now they can't get fatter because there's no grass. So the main shepherd is a Sigma. So he's an alpha male. He's an alpha male, so or whatever that means. And he doesn't have to worry because like he understands how things work. He understands how plant works, he understands how nature works, he understands how the weather works, he understands how season works. So he's like, cool, this grass is gone, but I can get new grass. So main shepherd goes with all of his understanding, and he goes to a new field because he actually has brain cells and he can think for himself, and he's able to be like, okay, cool, this grass is definitely not working because this other guy just ate everything, so let's look for new things. And then the old shepherd starts to see like, oh, these guys are eating the grass and stuff like that, but slowly there's less and less grass, and then he's like, fuck, these guys are getting skinny, I can't make enough money to eat, bro, because these guys don't have any meat on them. So now they're thinking, okay, cool, after this guy's already left because he's seeing like it's not gonna work, he's got brain cells, he's leaving and he's looking for new sheep. After let's say like a month, for example, this guy is like, okay, I need to copy what that guy is doing because my sheep are gonna die of starvation. And then it repeats the whole cycle again and again. So this analogy is the exact same thing that a lot of agency owners go through, and like even myself, like I went through this as well too, even coaches, whatever, where they will see one person doing something and it's working super well for them, and then multiple other people start doing it. And I'm talking, this is really prominent when multiple other people do it. So that's why I use the example of sheep. So when multiple other people start doing the same thing, let's say like this guy's like a course creator and he has like his inner circle, and then some guy like leaked it or something, he like leaked the geolocation of like the fields or whatever, and then other people from like outside just started copying it. So what ends up happening is that this person is well aware of how stuff works because he understands, let's say, nature, he understands seasons, he understands how rain works, he understands how plants work. So he's able to divert any time something isn't working for him. So if one place isn't working, he's like, cool, I have 6,000 other places in my head based off what I know that are gonna work for my sheep. So then he goes there, and it's the exact same thing people don't understand when it comes to disappointment stuff. So let's look at this in terms of business. I'm gonna fill this out as I go. So let's say industry leader. I don't know who this could be. This can be anything. Maybe someone that you've got like appointments from or something like that. Let's say like he makes a video on like how I got like 700 meetings in like a month or something like that. And everyone's like, fuck, bro, this is insane. Like, he's got 700 meetings. How's he done this? So then what ends up happening is that if I copy this and I go here, it's just multiple other people start copying the exact same thing. So what ends up happening is that multiple other people have this outreach strategy on how to get, let's say, 700 meetings, for example. And then what ends up happening is that the effectiveness of this thing just stops working, because he might explain why it works, but what most people don't really care about is they just don't care, because these guys, they're hungry as fuck. Like, they're skinny sheep, so they're like, I just need something. Like, hey, if this guy shared the exact same thing, they'll even scrub the video to find the exact same wording that this person might have used that might work for them, and they'll just copy it, just disregarding the thought process behind why it works. And then what ends up happening is that this script that everyone started using then becomes like what? It becomes like, from 700 meetings a month, it becomes like what? Maybe seven meetings a month using that strategy. And then people start to get tired of it, and then it doesn't work. And then everyone's like, fuck, this doesn't work. Like, all the people that start watching it later, they're like, oh, this strategy is broken, it doesn't work. It's broken. It's not going to see anything. And then, it just stops working. And then what ends up happening is that this Sigma person over here, so like, let me even put a crown on this guy so everyone knows like he's like super intelligent. So this person here, he's like, okay, cool, this is not working for me. What I'm gonna do is, based off the thesis of why my script was able to get me 700 meetings, I'm just gonna use the thesis, the exact mental model in my head, to create a new one. And let's say this one, from 700, it does like 770 meetings a month. And now he's got a new strategy. And now all these guys, they are looking at this and they're like, oh, and they just get horny, bro. They're like, oh my lord, how is he doing this? And then they try to copy it. And then what ends up happening is that the same cycle goes over and over and over again. So you might think, and this is why most people, they say, is like, I'll say like the top maybe 2-3% of, let's say, the whole industry leaders actually make money, because they're in the cycle of, they're actually dictating the play of what the market does. So when you're dictating stuff, you also get to set trends, and you also get to choose what gets pushed out and what doesn't get pushed out. And that's where the real power comes in. So a lot of people are stuck in this cycle, and this is a lot of you guys, where you're seeing someone put a script, you're seeing someone put a message, you're seeing someone put a method, and then you just copy and copy and copy it. And what ends up happening is that the effectiveness of what you're doing just doesn't work, because you can't even go back and try change it, because you have no idea why it works in the first place. You copied the thing, the script, the exact framework, and you have no idea why it works. It just worked for you, and you're like, oh my god, this is like insane. And then if it doesn't work anymore, you're like, okay, all right, what's the next YouTube video? What's the next script? And you search up like highest performing script, like best outreach script 2023 trend setting Q2 of like the year, which one works the best? And you're just confused. So it's like the only time you actually start making any sort of significant amount of like meeting volume, and you start getting meetings on your calendar without having to worry about when it's going to come, and you start getting predictable, which is what most people aren't. That's the time when you actually get free from what you're doing, because you not only know how to make it predictable, you understand how it works. So like if other people start to jump on your trend, you have the power to just divert, because you understand why your stuff works. So in this video, I just really wanted to just make you aware of this cycle that you might be in if you are in it. Like, I'm so like, it's completely fine if you're in the cycle, by the way. I know I was bashing it, but like, even I was in the cycle before where I would just constantly just iterate stuff. But you want to understand why stuff works. Like, you actually want to be like this guy where he's like, I don't even know what book he's reading, but he's reading a book about maybe something, but like, he's reading a book and like, he understands why stuff works. And then what you can do from there is that you can go back into the marketplace and test new things and get better strategies, because he's always iterating, because there's tons and tons of sheep just trying to copy the exact same thing that he's doing. So in this video, I just really wanted to just show you that, like, you know, don't be like the other 10% of people and stuff like that. Like, when you see these videos, and a lot of people, it's not their intent to saturate the market, they actually just want to help people, but you really want to understand why the thing works. Like, understand the real reason why it works, because once you understand why it works, you can then go back into it and, let's say, make it your own and make it different. Like, and they always say it in their videos, like, make it different, make it different, make it different. But a lot of you are so lazy. Like, it's insane how lazy you guys are, and I can't understand. Like, you know, we're lazy human beings, but just be different. Like, get the model, understand why it works, I'd be different. And if you want me to make a video on my model, like, I could make a video on how I'm booking up that amount of course in a month. Like, it's always around like 35 to like 40 a month or something like that. I could make a video if I wanted to, but it depends if you guys want it. But I'm definitely not going to give you a script, because I know you guys are just going to copy the hell out of it, and it's completely fine. Because yeah, that works, and you know, copying does work. But yeah, if you want to get something that does work though, and if you're struggling to actually sign clients, essentially, underneath this video I have a link. Shameless scam, shameless scam, shameless promotion, shameless promo. But you know, you can check it out if you're interested. But yeah, it's just a short video. You know, you don't even have to buy or anything. But yeah, check that out, and I'll see you very, very soon. Take care.